Hello children, welcome to social class. Today we are going to start our first lesson, that is globes and maps. We all know that we are living on a planet called Earth, and we know that the Earth is round. But for a long time it was believed that the Earth was flat. And this view was changed around 500 years ago by the Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan, who sailed westwards around the world with 5 ships. Although Magellan was killed, one of his ships returned to the place he had started from after 3 years, and this clearly proved that the earth is round. Can you tell me who was Ferdinand Magellan? Yes, he is the one who proved that the earth is round. And can you imagine what would happen if the earth is flat? Yes, if we travel to the edge of the earth, we would fall off, isn't it? And have you ever seen a photograph of the earth taken from the space? The earth is so big that we cannot see or study the whole of it at the same time. Therefore, to study the earth, we use a model of the earth called globe. So now we will study about the globe. A globe is a small model of the earth, round in shape like a ball. This shape is called a sphere. A globe gives us a clear picture of what the earth actually looks like, and it helps us to study the earth and gives us an idea about the shape and location of different countries, continents, oceans and seas. The larger the globe, it will be easier for us to find the places on it. The rod on which the globe spins represent the earth's axis. We already know that the axis is an imaginary line passing through the earth's center on which it spins. The axis of rotation of the globe is similar to that of the earth. A globe, however, cannot be of much use due to the following reason. The first one, we cannot see all the places on the globe at the same time, right? So when you want to see the other places, you have to rotate the globe, right? A globe has to be rotated or turned to see what lies on the other side. And all the places on the earth cannot be shown on a globe. So you cannot see all the places of the earth on the globe. And the larger the globe, it will be more difficult for us to carry from one place to another place. Okay, so if you want to see the places easily, you should have a larger globe. If you have a larger globe, it will be very difficult for us to carry from one place to another place. Okay, so this is the reason why we don't use the globe, or a globe is not much used due to the following reason. A map is a drawing of the whole or part of the earth's surface on a flat surface such as paper. If we take a globe and flatten it, it will become a map. Okay, so a globe, when it is flattened, it will become as a map. A map gives us information about places on the surface of the earth in greater detail than the globe. Okay, so a map can give more information than the globe. And there are various types of maps such as physical, political and thematic maps. Can you just name the types of maps? Yes, it is political, physical and thematic map. Now we will see one by one. The first one is, we will see the physical maps. The physical maps shows physical features such as mountains, seas, river, lakes, forest and farms. And political maps shows countries, capital cities and other important places. And thematic maps gives us certain themes or topics such as rainfall, crops, industries, etc. Okay, such maps are known as thematic maps. These different maps or different types of maps can be put together in a book called an atlas. Maps that show small areas such as street, a house or a room in detail are called plans. So can you tell me what are plans? Maps that show small areas such as a street, house or a room in detail, that we call it as plans. Okay. So next we will see the language of a map. So now we have seen what is a map. So now we have to know certain things about a map, such as its direction, its scale, and the meaning of various colors and symbols used in it in order to understand the map. This is why these features are called as language of map. Okay, so the first one we are going to see is direction. Directions are the most important part of a map. They help us to locate a place easily. Maps are generally drawn with a symbol like this. This is the north direction. Once you know that the north is at the top, it is easy to locate the south. So which is at the bottom, or it is in the opposite to the north, isn't it? So here once you know which is the north side, okay, so if the north is at the top, it is easy to locate the south which is at the bottom and is opposite to the north, right? And the east is in the right of the map. Okay, so east will be to the right and the west to the left, and between the north and east lies the northeast. Between the south and east lies the southeast, and between the south and west lies the southwest, and between the north and west lies the northwest. Okay, so these are the different directions. So in the map it will be given like this. Okay, so symbol will be given. So here if the north is at the top, it will be easier for us to find the other directions. So the next we are going to see the scale. The size and distance between places on a map is shown by a scale. A scale is the ratio of the distance between two places on the map to the actual distance between these two places on the ground. And let's suppose that the actual distance between Delhi and Jaipur is 100 kilometers, and on the map the same distance is 1 centimeter. Okay, on the map it is shown as 1 centimeter. That means 1 centimeter represents how much? It represents 100 kilometers. Okay, so then according to the scale of the map, 1 centimeter represents 100 kilometers. Okay, so on such a map, an actual distance of 200 kilometer on the earth will be shown as 2 centimeter. Maps are always drawn to the scale. The scale is usually mentioned in the corner of the map. The next we will see the legend or keys. The legend or the keys of a map explains what the colors and symbols used in the map mean. It is usually given in a box in one corner of the map. Okay, so in one corner of the map, so these colors and symbols will be represented. Okay, so certain standard colors and symbols are used to show different features such as ocean, seas, mountains, plains, desert, cities, roads, railways, etc. It is important to understand these colors and symbols because they help us to read the map. So we should know these different colors and symbol what it represents, right? So in order to read a map. So all maps follow a common scheme of colors. So here if you see, the blue color represent the water bodies such as oceans, seas, river, lakes, etc. And brown color, hills, mountains and plateaus. And yellow color represents the hot deserts, and white color represents cold desert, snow covered areas, etc. Okay, and green, plain and lowlands. And symbols are marked on a map to show cities, capitals, railways, bridges, roads, airport, hospital, post office, rivers, etc. Okay, so maps also have lines drawn over them to form the squares, and these squares are called grids. What are these squares are called as? Yes, grids. Okay, each grid has a number which helps us to locate a place easily on a map. Maps have some advantages over the globes. They are very small and handy, and they can be folded and carried easily to different places. Where in case of globes, if you see, so they are big and they cannot be folded, right? So we cannot fold the globes and take it from place to place. Maps show small areas in greater detail, while a globe only shows what the earth actually looks like. Okay, so these are the advantages of using the maps. So by this we have completed our first chapter. So let's recall what we have studied in the first chapter. Can you tell me what is a globe? Yes, a globe is a model of the earth, and a map is a drawing of the whole or a part of the earth's surface on a flat surface such as paper. And the languages of maps includes direction, scale, its legend or key, and the color and the symbols used in it. And maps contains more detail and easier to carry from one place to another than the globes. Okay children, so you have to go through the video carefully, and if you have any doubt you can ask me. Okay, so we will meet you in the next class.